Yo, what is good? What is good? We are back. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe. We just some dudes on here just talking sports. I
Yeah.
got Am from Am's Logic.
What up?
Got my man Lamont. You can call him L Boogie. He loves that. Two lifelong friends. So let's
Shout
get so Bucks 1-4 since Doc is so we've had different coaches, different lineups. Is it starting to be a mental issue?
Nah.
I mean, when I say that is because before Doc, we were blowing leads. Pause. So I don't know. We're doing it with Doc. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's a coaching thing. Well, I mean, I don't. What do you call it then if it's not mental? The talent is
Personally,
there.
I think, yeah, I think it's, and we're too far into the season to be even saying this. I don't think they found a solid rotation. And honestly, I don't think the Dame Giannis thing is working.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that they're. I don't think that they're the problem. I think
Well, it starts with them, though.
it does, but I think part of the problem is that Dame. It could be two things because I see the inconsistency in Dame
Mm-hmm.
game, but then I also don't see any adjustments from Giannis to make Dame's life easier. You know, I will say that Giannis is
That's
being
what I'm
People don't
Giannis.
want
saying.
to hear that. The people
Yeah,
don't want to hear that.
yeah. Giannis is being Giannis. He's doing exactly what he's been doing the entire time, and it to
You
me
remember
is kind of very LeBron like, where you're not changing.
that is something that I was thinking earlier. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, the Giannis that we grew to love, it has changed.
No,
He's
I don't.
doing a lot of LeBronish things
Now,
lately.
but I don't. But what I mean though is I do think though now that we have Doc. Doc is an experienced coach, and I don't think he gonna just lay on his back and let somebody walk all over him, including Giannis. So I think if he starts barking instructions to Giannis to try to adjust his game, and Giannis don't listen, then that's gonna be a problem. But I'm hoping that Doc can at least have some good word for him. What you think, Am?
I don't know. That would be a huge adjustment. All of a sudden, you playing off the ball, just like it's a huge adjustment for Dame to kind of become more of a spot up shooter versus having his hands on the ball. But I don't know if Giannis can be dominant without the ball.
Right.
That's the problem. I don't know if he can be truly dominant. Anytime he's effective, he has the ball top of the key coming downhill. He can't just go all of a sudden say go in the post and put your hand up. Though people expect Dame to all of a sudden be a spot up shooter when he don't have no rhythm. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're fighting how they play is fighting, and then now Dame is being passive at times. He like just go ahead, I'm gonna chill because he don't know what he's supposed to do. Because you doing the same thing, and everybody's like, "Dang, you ain't doing this." Like, but what am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? I take shots just to take some shots. It's not like they're within rhythm or I'm coming off a screen, and then we our screens are terrible. They just walk by somebody, just kind of brush them and keep it moving. Like that, that's it. To be honest, if you want the real truth, if for this to work, Giannis would have to play more off the ball, and I don't know if that's possible. He would have to play off of the ball, and I don't know if that's possible.
And I think when we got Dame, the one thing that everybody talked about was, oh, the pick and roll, the pick and roll. If you watch the games, Giannis really doesn't set a pick.
No,
Correct.
Giannis does
we've
exactly
barked
what you
about
said,
that.
man. He brushes off, and then he doesn't even dive to the basket. He stands there by the three point line, waiting for Dame to give him the ball back.
But this is what I mean to where do we start now with Doc here? I think that if he's not implementing and enforcing certain changes, then it's going to fall on him because he should in practice. He should be like, when you set the pick, you know what I'm saying? Plant
you
your feet.
dive to the back.
Like
Right.
all that should be done in practice. And if that's not being done, then that's a problem.
Well, Giannis was complaining recently about the practices being too hard, and that's why they've been gassed in games.
From Doc?
Yeah.
See, I don't.
Yeah.
But I think they
I
need
don't like
less
that.
hits to win.
And
Yeah.
I look at it as far as what you said, Mike. I think it's hard for Doc because Doc realizes this is his last go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure. For sure. He may
And
not
he
get into the
definitely
league
doesn't
again
want
if
to
he.
get fired.
Right.
Yeah, so he almost has to kiss Giannis, ass
Right.
to an extent.
Yeah. And let's also say that we are in a bit of a panic because I think the goals that we had for the Bucks were a lot greater than they are on, and I mean, and the defense is lagging, but just something that I looked at is so last year, top 5 in the West was Denver, was Denver, Memphis, Sacramento, Phoenix, Clippers. In the East is Bucks, Celtics, Philly, Cleveland, New York. Now this year in the West, it's the Clippers at 1, OKC, Minnesota, Denver, Sacramento. In the East, Boston, Cleveland, Milwaukee, New York, Philly. Everything is pretty much the same. Although Cavs at the number 2 seed, I still don't feel like at the end of the year they're going to stay at the number 2 seed.
Nah.
So I mean, I think things are still in the mix. And one thing that I don't understand is why doesn't Denver get the same smoke as Milwaukee? Denver hasn't been that complete dominant team like they were last year when they made their championship run. They're right now a 4 seed.
Well, they lost some key pieces, and I don't think that they still look good. We look a mess. And the only reason our record is what it is because we had a very easy first half of the season.
But
now we're digging into the real game.
But were we getting, and here's I should have looked this up and I meant to, were we getting dog walked by top teams? We were losing. We've lost a lot of games to people because we've had talks where we're saying like, are they playing to their ability on a lot of these teams, which I think's happened. We beat Dallas twice, if I'm not mistaken. It's a shame. We should have beat Denver. We had that game in complete control until the end. We unraveled. I don't think that we're doing horrible. I would have to look it up, but I don't think we're doing absolutely horrible against teams over 500. And I'd like to see. I had to do some research and see what that number is.
But don't you think that's a problem then? That means that we're getting beat by teams that we shouldn't lose to.
Right. And that's where you kind of circle back. Where is it mental? Are you not being mentally prepared for these weak teams that you just, but I don't know. We lost. We 1-4 right now. Only team we beat was Dallas. But again, which is a solid squad. I just wonder if, and I'm hoping too that we kind of turn up come playoff time.
Well, let me say this about that Dallas game. They were playing without Irving, without Powell, without Derek Lively. So that was a depleted team too.
Yeah, I thought Kyrie played that game?
Nope. No, not that. The first one
game
he played.
Okay.
The first game.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's catch-22. We didn't have Dame for Phoenix. I mean, it's what it is. People got to step up and play. So they still who they are.
I think in order for us to win a championship, Dame has to be Dame. So Doc has to figure out how Dame can be more comfortable in the offense. and other people are going to have to sacrifice, like Beasley, all these other people, because if Dame is going, we gonna win. Period.
Right. I
We
agree.
got some crazy record when Dame is over 20 or 25 points or more. Our record is real crazy. It might be like 19-3 or some. It's real good. It's at least 80% for sure. It's at least
Yeah.
80%. So the stats is telling you, let this man get cooking. So when he's cooking, it make it easier for everybody else. Because if you watch the game, any of the games that Dame is hooping, they're doubling him. And once they as soon as he get the ball, they bring in two people at him. All he got to do is swing the ball. How you think Beasley getting these open threes? Even if Dame is struggling, if he hit a couple of shots, they're like, nah. They got two people right there. So even if he's not hooping, he's still a great decoy. You have to respect it. You're not gonna just let him just start shooting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, very true.
And like, I forgot what game that was, but it was Middleton where he threw up like maybe 4 lobs to Giannis, and it was just easy buckets.
But
That's
see, and
what
that's what I was
I
going to
I
say
know
wanted
what game
before.
you're talking about too, because that was one of the games that Dame was cooking. So they couldn't
and that
double nobody else, right?
and
But
that's
see,
what Dame and Giannis should be doing.
but that's what I was going to say before too is should they have a West Coast offense? You know, if you just running and Giannis slashing to the basket where you can throw him lobs and but I also think though too that I think Dame likes to slow it down a little bit.
I think
But you can still
yeah.
get those lobs
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
true.
on back screens. You could make the game a lot easier for everybody with screens, cuts. They're just standing around, man.
The fundamentals, let's just keep it real. Let's call it what it is. Let's not sugarcoat it. We need to focus on the fundamentals. Rebounding, boxing out, smart passes. Once you do that, that's 90% of the reason the Spurs was as good as long as they were. It wasn't elite talent or elite athleticism. It was the fundamentals.
Right.
Coming from Tim Duncan, the big fundamental. Tim Duncan was no wild athletic player. He just had the
Right.
fundamentals. That's
But
all we
that's
need
Yeah.
to get that down.
and I think that Doc is at least an experienced enough coach to where he can start establishing and incorporating those little things.
Oh yeah, but he's already incorporated. Our defense is already much better since Doc has been our coach. I think our defense is like 9th or something like that. So it's not
Right.
that
Yeah.
Beasley and Dame are that bad. It was that Griff wasn't able to create a scheme to not make them be as exposed. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like people just running past Beasley or Dame now. It's just the defense is better.
Yeah.
There's better
Yeah. It's a
spacing.
lot more movement.
There
Yeah,
you
it's
go.
a
Yeah.
lot more movement. And
And
like on
like
that last Phoenix game, Beasley diving on the ground for a loose ball. Like they weren't doing that before.
I agree with that. You do see a little bit more effort.
Yeah.
who we got next?
Minnesota tomorrow at home.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Speaking of
And hopefully Middleton can play. His body's
yeah.
made out of paper mache.
Yeah, it's styrofoam like for sure.